one of the best ways to live life is to look at those who have proven results and follow the principle, follow their formula in getting to where they are, in getting the kind of results that they have gotten far in life. And if you want to replicate such results, such outcome, then the best thing is to follow their principle, to follow their steps. That's why some of them have written books, some of them have shared their experiences, some of them have even written their own biography. And it is there for us to study, to look at it. How did they get to where they have gotten to? Many people don't achieve much in life because they take advice, they take suggestion, they follow people's opinion who have not achieved anything. So in my own research, I have come to notice that if truly you want to achieve more in life, then follow after those who have proven results. So that is what I've been doing, studying those who have proven results. And in today's video, we want to talk about becoming a landlord through land banking. How possible is that? How possible becoming a landlord through land banking? The number one thing you need to know is it is called landlord, not house lord. Landlord, not house lord. So the first thing is for you to own a piece of land or an expanse of land. So even for you to become a house lord, let me put it that way. So landlord means you have a land or you have an expanse of land. So I quickly want to talk about some points before I now come to the main point, that how can I do it? The people you said have done it, okay, how did they do it? What strategy did they deploy? So a few points so that before we move in. And please, if you already have your own personal residential house, maybe this video is not for you, but one thing you can always do is you can always learn, because the biggest room in life is the room for improvement. So follow me as we look at these points. Building or buying a house is not a matter of competition. So which means it is not a rat race. You are not competing with anybody. It is for your own convenience, it is for your own good, it is for your own family. So you are not competing with anybody, so you are going to build at your own pace, not at any other person's pace. So don't compete with anybody when it comes to building, when it comes to especially building residential, your own personal house. It is not a matter of competition. The number two is that many people have built their houses, those who have built it, and some are still even building it. And it is in pain, it is in agony, it is in distress. Does it have to be that way? Must you put yourself under constraint, or because you want to build your residential apartment? Are there other alternatives? Are there alternatives? Are there other strategies I can actually deploy so that I will build it seamlessly without having to go through those agony, go through the stress of having to constrain myself, all because I want to have a residential apartment? Then number three, always count the costs. Always count the cost. Even the Bible says whoever wants to build a house should first of all sit down and count the cost. Sit down and count the cost. So before you build your house, if you don't have a stable and steady, you can see stable and steady cash flow. Because one thing I see that is common these days is people having uncompleted building, they want to sell it. Why? Because many of them are broke. They did not count the cost before they started. Some even started out of faith, saying that, okay, I'm building by faith, I start the foundation by faith. Even the Bible that is faith-based says, count the cost. I understand that there is faith, there is the faith part, but please count the cost. Do you understand? So one of the easy ways to build is through land banking. And how do I mean? Now, rather than you buying just one plot and you start your foundation and you are just trusting that, okay, maybe when one contract comes in or when one income comes in, you are no longer banking on that because you don't yet have a stable or steady cash flow. Stable means you are certain of it, while steady means it is regular. That is the part that people don't get. It is regular. That's when you count the cost. Okay, out of my income that is coming in monthly, I can schedule this out. I can budget this for the building. But if you don't have that yet, it is only a contract that came in, maybe let's say 20 million naira once It is just a contract that came in once, and just because of that, you went to build a house, and eventually you couldn't finish the house, you couldn't complete it, and contract is no longer coming in, and that's why you find uncompleted buildings all around. So what can you do instead? So one strategy that I have seen is that you can actually buy an acre, tap into land banking. Land banking means buying now and selling later in future. Buying an undeveloped land, most likely an undeveloped location. You buy it to sell later in future. So what you buy is, and most people who do land banking, they sell in bulk. So you buy an acre. An acre is 6 plots. So just because you have a plan, that's why I said building a house is not a competition. It's not a matter of competition. You are not competing with anybody. You are building at your own pace. You are building for your own self and for your family, for the comfort of your family. You are not competing with anybody, for Christ's sake. Do you understand? So you buy 6 plots, which is 1 acre, which is 6 plots. Then you know that, okay, like after 5 years, at times it could be earlier, depending on government policy, depending on infrastructure, depending on the public-private partnership or whatever that is going to happen in that location. Do you understand? So you leave it there to appreciate. So once the place begins to appreciate, then you can now do what? You can now sell how many? 4 plots out of that 6 plots. Then you use 1 plot, you build on 1 plot. Your gain from these 4 plots, you use it to build 1, and you retain 1 for future purpose. Do you understand? So that is a strategy that you can deploy. You don't have to constrain yourself. It's a strategy. It's a long-term plan. Many people are short-term in their thinking. They're only thinking about now. They're only thinking about now. So once you know that, okay, it's a plan. It's a 10-year plan. So you buy what? You go ahead and land bank. Buy an acre. Buy 2 acres according to your power. Rather than just buying 1 plot and trying to build, and it becomes a constraint on your finance. It becomes a constraint. You find it hard to eat. You find it hard to live a normal life. All because you want to build. It's not so. It shouldn't be. You can build, you can live your normal life, and yet, at the end, you build your residential apartment seamlessly. It's a strategy you can deploy. So that's why I said, becoming a landlord through land banking. Buy 6 plots, which is an acre, at least. Then later, when that place, because it would have appreciated. One thing about land is land always appreciates in value. It would have appreciated. At that point in time, you sell how many? You can decide to sell 4. At times you can even decide to sell 3. And how sure are you that in the next 3 years, the place will not skyrocket, the price of that location? We have heard of stories of somebody who I was discussing just this morning with somebody who said he bought a plot of land for 1.5, and currently in 9 years, I think, they are offering him 40 million naira. 1.5 to 40 million. And he said he's not selling. So I'll show you. So just imagine, hadn't been he bought 6 plots then. He bought 6 plots. He now sold just 3 plots out of it. He bought 6 plots for how much? Let's say that's 1.5 times 6. That's, I think, 9 million naira. Now, he now decided to sell 3 plots. That's 120 million naira. He will build his house conveniently. That's the strategy we are talking about. So which means you don't have to build your house in pain, in agony. Live your normal life. Let your children enjoy. Let your wife enjoy you. Enjoy your life. Only strategize. Live by principle. Becoming a landlord through land banking. I don't know whether you have any question, thoughts, or comments. You can ask me in the comment section below, and I will attend to you there. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do by clicking on the subscribe button. And so we meet in our next video. Stay blessed.